Hey everybody, this is Alex Ducellier Muller. Today we're going to be talking about the correct geometry of a 20-meter circle, specifically within a 20 by 60 meter arena. So when we talk about riding a 20-meter circle, I tell my students to imagine riding a 20-meter circle placed inside a 20-meter square. So the reason this is important is that when you think about riding the 20-meter circle inside the 20-meter square, it becomes easier to visualize how you touch the very center of each of the sides of the square. And so that's important because if you end up touching someplace other than the very center of each side of the square, then of course your circle is not round. So when we move this into our big dressage arena, it helps to break it down into imaginary squares so that you can picture where in the arena you need to reach the widest point of your circle. So we talk about, or I talk about, having 4 circle points on the circle, and those are the points where your circle touches the edge of your square. And so the important takeaway from this visual is that you should be touching the very center of those sides. And when you touch the very center of those sides, you are 10 meters from each corner of your square. And so again, when you ride in the dressage arena, you are imagining your square. So visualize this square, and we're going to take that over to our dressage arena. So here we have our dressage arena, 20 meters by 60 meters. So there are several places in this arena where you are asked to ride a 20-meter circle. There are actually specifically 3 spots where you're usually asked to ride a 20-meter circle. So although you could ride it in many places, usually you're asked to ride it at A, in between E and B, or at C. So when you ride your 20-meter circle at A, your circle points, this is your imaginary square, you just have to imagine this side here. Your circle points are at A, right here on the long side, so that's 10 meters from the corner. We know that because we're touching in the middle of our square. And here over the center line, which is 10 meters from this point. You're visualizing that square, 10 meters from here to this corner. So this is 10 meters away from this point on the long side. And then this point here, which we know is 10 meters from the corner and 10 meters from our imaginary corner here. So the big takeaway I have for you right here with this 20-meter circle at A is that your 20-meter circle is actually going past this line between V and P. So the common mistake for the circles at the end is that people put their circle squished down at this end. So you can see now I've moved it and it's kind of squished off the edge of the arena here. And the problem with that is that these letters are only 18 meters from the corner. So we have 18 meters from the corner to P. And of course we need our circle to be placed in our 20-meter square, which reaches 20 meters from the corner. So your big takeaway is that when you cross the center line, you should be 2 meters past V and P for this circle here at A. Our next 20-meter circle we're going to talk about is the other straightforward one, which is at C. So our 20-meter circle at C has 4 circle points. C itself, 10 meters from the corner here. On the center line, again, that's 2 meters past S and R. And here, 10 meters from the corner. So our 20-meter circle, again, goes 2 meters past S and R. Our third circle is right here in the very center. So I think I placed those a little bit wide apart. In an ideal world where all my geometry is perfect on paper, those circle points should be shared with I'm a little off. So this is actually our circle point. So the circle points for your circle and in the center should be shared with your circle at the end. So you can see here how these points I've made, I'll make them a little bigger so you can see them, and to hide the fact that I put them in the wrong spot, should be shared. So the 20-meter circle touches this point here. When you ride your circle in the center, it touches this point here and this point here. So these points are shared between those three circles. So when you're riding your circle in the center, you are 2 meters shy of the line between V and P and the line between S and R. So I think that's clear, hopefully. So we'll go outside and I'll ride it for you and hopefully give you some visuals. Before we start looking at me riding 20-meter circles, I just wanted to point out that the corner letter is 6 meters from the actual corner, and we need to measure another 4 meters past that corner letter to find our 10-meter circle point, so 10 meters from the real corner of the arena. Each panel in this specific arena is 4 meters long, so we can also find that 10-meter circle point by traveling 2.5 panels down from the corner of the arena. So here I'm riding a 20-meter circle at C. You can see I'm going 2 meters past I. I is on the center line between S and R. So I'm going to touch at C, stay out of the corner, not touch the rail until my circle point, which is 10 meters from the corner. Cross the center line 2 meters past I. Touch the rail 10 meters from the corner. And then touch at C. So when you finish a circle, you want to go as deep into the corner as possible. Here I'm riding a 20-meter circle between B and E. So on this 20-meter circle in the very center of the arena, I'm staying 2 meters in from I and L. I know the visual on this is a little funny. I promise you I'm 2 meters in. So I'm going to touch at E. As I cross the center line, I should be parallel to the short end of the arena for 1 moment. I'm going to touch at B. And then as I cross the center, oh, I guess I'm finished there. And here's my 20-meter circle at A. I'm going to leave the rail at A, stay out of the corner, touch the middle of the panel after F, go 2 meters past L, touch the middle of the panel before K, which is 10 meters from the corner, and touch at A. So as you ride the circle, when you're halfway around the circle, you should be parallel to your starting point. You should always be looking at the next circle point. So as you ride the whole circle, you're looking a quarter circle ahead. When you finish your circle, you go deep into the corner, as deep as the horse's balance permits. So here I'm going to ride my circles without the circle points marked. So you can see I'm staying out of the corner, touching the middle of the panel after H, crossing the center line 2 meters past I, touching the panel before M, and touching at C, and then back into the corner and down the long side. So for my circle at B, I'm staying 2 meters inside of L, touching at E, staying 2 meters inside of I, and then touching at B again. Circle at A, deep into the corner to start, looking a quarter circle ahead, staying out of the corner. At my halfway point, I'm parallel to my starting point, 2 meters past L, touch the middle of the panel, and then finish at A and deep into the corner. I hope that was helpful and not confusing. If it was confusing, I will happily try again. Thanks, y'all.